there are so many different types of index numbers, right? We do only few of them. And index numbers, actually, like almost all things in this world, they are indexes, right? Means relative things. Like you have heard that Einstein theories has said like everything in the world, like relative things. The theory of relativity, right? All things are relative. Even the time is also relative to something. That's what he said at the end. So for those relative values, we are going to take a value. That's what we say index numbers. Okay. Simply, currency is a kind of index number. We say rupees, right? Someone has defined something called 1 rupee, right? So then we do all those transactions with rupees, no? Let's say one coconut, we say 60 rupees, 80 rupees, and 1 kilogram of sugar is like 120 rupees, right? So rupee is something having a value, just a coin, right? That has given a value. So compared to that, we can give others different values, no? We just think now, uh, before this money came to the world, it was like sharing of goods, no, sharing of things, right? Then in that case, let's say the 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 relative value is coconut. Now you do all transactions with coconut there, right? Let's say you want to buy a land. So when you give 1,000 coconuts, you can buy a land. Let's say if you are going to buy rice, 1 kilogram of rice you can buy by giving two coconuts. Likewise, we can have relative values in different ways, right? Even the dollars and other currencies, they all are relative units. Someone has defined something called dollar, right? So with compared to that, with relative to that, others are given values, right? Those are indices. An index is a relative value. Here we learn only price index and quantity indexes only, right? Let's see. First, let me give you an example, right? So what we do is to get the price index, take 2010 here with respect to 2010. Take 2010 value to the denominator, it's 50. Now it is 200. Out of 100, how much? We calculate the indexes like this. So this is 50 times 4, 400. So we get the index like 400. The idea of this one is, if we assume 2010 value is 100, now it is 400, right? We compare those values with respect to a particular year, right? We call it base year. Comparing things to a, a base year price, sometimes quantity, is called an index. Here we calculate indexes with relative to a particular year. The idea here is, what do you mean by that 400? Okay, so the price we taken compared to 2010. Let me take another example. The base year 2016, it's 15,000. Now it is 20,000. Out of 100, how much? It's not a percentage. We don't say it's a percentage. Five times 4, 5 times 3. 4 over 3 into 100 is 133.3. Now that means if we consider the base year 2016 as 100, if we assume the quantity in 2010 as sorry 2016 as 100, then now it is 133.3. Okay, then an index is a value taken with respect to a particular year, right? Known as base year, right? That we say base year, the relative year we take, it's a relative value, right? Relative value of an item with respect to a particular year. Here we learn price index and the quantity index mainly. So first you should know the notation. There is a notation to get them. Standard notation. We use P for price, Q for quantity, right? Use T note. Note means the base year values. This is base year price. Q naught is base year quantity. Then P1, P2, say P can have any like n means any value. N can be 1, 2, 3. This is a price of a given year. Same way Qn is quantity of a given year. Right? So those are the notations we use. For single item, we have simple price index. I have taken the price index only, so quantity index also same thing, same format. Simple price index or simple price relative, we call it. Right? Then for multiple items, there are two things. average price relative or aggregate relatives. Average price relative is the next one, right? For aggregate relatives, there are some more. Under that, we have unweighted and weighted. For unweighted, we have simple aggregate price relative. For weighted index, this is actually what comes to you at the exam. You have one called base weighted, and the other one year weighted. Base weighted one we call last year indexes. Year weighted is partial. Right. Then you can see we are learning 5 types of here. The circled ones are the ones we learn. Simple price index, average price relative, then simple aggregate price relative, last year index, partial. This is for price index. Same thing, same way comes for quantity index as well. Right? Let indexes for single item. Simple price index. Price index is P1 over P0 into 100. What we did, same way, quantity index Q1 over Q0 into 100. We just think it's like a, it's a for a shop, right? For a small boutique, for any item. Let's say you just think like rice or sugar or whatever. In 2015, they have bought for 20 rupees, and the quantity they have bought, so 5 kilograms, let's say. In 2020, they have got like for 30 rupees and 6 kilograms. It's like that. Price index is P1 over P0 into 100. The first thing is they give only P and Q values. Since it says 2015 is base year, you have to put not there. And for the other, you can put 1. Right? This notation they don't give. So P1 is 30 divided by 20 into 100 is what? 3 over 2, 1.5, 150, no? Quantity index is Q1 over Q0 into 100. Q1 is 6, Q0 is 5 into 100, like 1.2, 120, no? How to get the value index? Value index means you take the total cost in 2015 and 2020, the total cost we are buying for 30 rupees and the amount is 6, no? 30 into 6. In 2015, the total cost is 20 into 5 into 100. So this 100 and 100 cancel, 30 times 6 is 180. Is that okay? Average relatives. If you are going to get the price index, you have to take sigma P1 over P0 into 100. You find 1 by 1 these and finally divide by the number of items. Quantity index sigma Q1 or Q0 into 100 divided by n is number of items. Let's do one example. Item now. You can see there are like A, B, C, D, 4 items. Rice, sugar, flour, things like that. And 2 years, 2018 and 2020. Right. You get the question like this. This is how you get the question. That means that they don't say Q0, P0 things, right? They only say considering the base year. They mention the base year, right? You have to find the average price and quantity indices. If 2018 is base year, right? Here you have to put n value always 0. This one you can put n value 1. right? That is here P naught, Q naught, P1, Q1. Now you are going to find the price index is sigma summation P1 over P naught into 100, and finally we divide by number of items. So take the first one, A, P1 is 30, divided by 20, P naught. 30 over 20 into 100. The second item, B, P1 is 45, P naught is 40, 45 over 40. For C, it is 60 over 50 into 100. The last one, 40 over 35 into 100. So you can do this by taking 100 out. This you have to divide by the number of items is 4, no? A, B, C, D. 0.19. Thanks. Don't put percentage. These are not percentages, right? So we take out of 100. These are not percentages. Now you have to find the quantity index. Now take the quantity index, like the formula. And you need to worry about formulas. All are given in the formula sheet. This is Q1 over Q naught into 100 divided by N. Right. Here for this you take, for item A, for item sorry for those disturbances. For A it is here 12 over 10. I keep mute for a few seconds, right? It's noisy here. So that's all about this quantity and price indexes in, like, when you take average. The name has the meaning, right? Average means we take one by one indices and we take the average by dividing by the number of items. The next one is, now we are doing aggregate relative, aggregate relatives, aggregate index numbers, unweighted. We don't give a weight, right? Aggregate means we are combining items, right? The previous one actually we didn't combine them. We are combining items. Multiple. Right. Now these are the equations. Okay. We combine these items. Let's do one question. 2015 and 2020 price quantity. Items, let's say A, B, C, D. We have 4 items. For item A, the price in 2015, let's say 20 rupees. In 2020, it's 25 rupees. For B, let's say 130 rupees, 200 rupees, 80 rupees, 150 rupees, 50, 60. Quantity from this 20 rupee one, we have taken 10 items. In 2020, we have taken 15. From this 131, it's 5. This is 8. From this 8 rupee one, so we have taken 25 items, now 40. From 50 rupee one, 7 and 10. Okay, my question is find this is called simple aggregate. Simple aggregate price and quantity indexes for 2020 by taking 2015 as the base year. So now you have to put the notation. Since 2015 is base year, this one's invalid is 0. This one you can put in list, let's say 1. So if you have another year, you have to put 2. Now you have only like 2 years maximum. So this is P0, Q0, it's base year. This is P1, Q1. Now if you're going to find price index, get the formula to find price index. Price index is equal to sigma Pn is 1 divided by sigma P0 into 100. P1, sigma P1 is sum of this column, right? Sigma P0, take sum of this column and multiply by 100. Same way, to find the quantity index, I will get sigma Q1 divided by sigma Q0 into 100. Here this is sigma Q1. This is sigma Q0. What is sigma P0?
280.
280. Okay, what is sigma q naught?
47.
47. What is sigma p1?
435.
Sigma q1?
73.
Right. Now to get price index, take sigma p1 is 435, sigma p naught is 280 into 100. What is the answer?
155.36.
Right. Then for quantity index, you have to take sigma q1 is 73 divided by 47 into 100. What is the answer?
155.32.
Okay, thanks. Here, weighted aggregate index numbers, right? So then we have last year's index numbers and partial index numbers. Last year's index number means base weighted, and partial index numbers year weighted. Right. You get questions like this. For a question like this, you have 5 marks. The question says to find last year price index and partial quantity index. Okay. Yeah, CA is 2015. Then first you put the pattern of event, because NEC you have red color, then P naught, Q naught, and for 2020 it's P1, Q1. Right? After that, think about the formulas. Now, first we are going to find last year's index. This question, you better draw it again. Now this is the question given in your paper. So you draw it again, different table, because you have to insert some columns. When you draw the new diagram, you draw it like this. You have to insert these given values and keep space to add another, like 2 more columns. Maximum you have to 2, right? Take P naught, Q naught. P1, Q1. Items we have A, B, C, and D. You draw the table like this. After that, now they're asking last year's price index now. You go to that formula, last year's price index. This is given in the formula sheet. Last year's price index is sigma P1 Q naught or sigma Q naught. At last year's price index is sigma P1 Q naught to P naught Q naught into 100. P1 Q naught, P naught Q naught. Right. Now to find that, you need to find P naught Q naught column and get the sum. Right. So you have to add a column. I don't know. P naught, Q naught. The reason why I'm adding here is like it's closer to P naught and Q naught now. Then it's easy for you to multiply. And P1 Q naught, you can put here even So P naught 20 times 3, 60. 30 times 8, 240. 4 times 5, 200. 50 times 2. Take the sum of that column. 100, 200, 300, 300, another 300, 600. And same way, you have to get P1 Q naught. P1 Q naught means this product. 3 into 40 is 120. No, we put it here. Then 8 into 40, 32. 320. 5 times 60 is 300. 2 times 80, 160. Get the total. $900, no? I can put them to the formula. This is 300 times 2, 300 times 3. 302 means this is 150. Is that okay? Now you are going to find Paasche quantity index. This is equal to P1 Q1 over P naught Q naught P1. We need P1 Q1. Let me write the formula. P1 Q1 Q naught P1 or P1 Q naught. So P1 Q naught, you know it to take it again because it's already there. Here is P1 Q naught. Therefore, only one column required. P1 Q1 only. So 40 times 6, 240. 4 times 10, 400. 16 to 6, 360. 8 times 4, 320. Take the total. 0. Now you put them to the formula. Sigma P1 Q1 is 1320 divided by 900 into 100. What's the answer?
$146.67.
146.67, no? Right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's how you find this. Right? This will be a common question. Every year you have a question like this, about 5 marks. Right. Your try this one. You find last year's price index. I'm not going to draw this again, right? I just add it here. But you don't do this at the exam. Last year formula P1 Q naught, P naught Q naught, no? Take P naught Q naught and P1 Q naught. You multiply P naught Q naught means this one with this. 250 times 20. 5,000, no? 130 times 18. Get the answer. 18 times 40. Get the answer. And P1 Q naught. This column with Q naught, first and last. You fill the middle. And can someone please tell me the sums of these columns? This are 14,540.
Yes.
Right. Okay. P1 Q naught
19,750.
Okay. Then write the formula. Last year's price index is equal to sigma P1 Q naught divided by sigma P naught Q naught into 100. So it is 19,750 divided by 14,540 into 100 is what?
135.83.
0.83. Right. Thanks. So this is okay, no? Okay. Your try is done now. So we need P naught, Q naught, and P1 Q naught, no? Tell me what are the sums of these two columns? P naught Q naught is what?
11,900.
7,900.
11,900.
Okay, 11,000. What is P1 Q naught?
15,600.
Right. Then write the formula. This is sigma P1 Q naught divided by sigma P naught Q naught into 100. So it is 15,600 divided by 11,900 into 100. What is the answer?
131.09.
Right. Okay. So that's all. This average weighted index number. Last one. Average weighted index numbers means the same way we take average. So there they give the indexes. There the average index number. Let's say we are going to get the price index. There you have sigma wi divided by sigma w into 100. The formula is something like this. W is actually the weight. I is the index. Previous calculated index numbers are given to you. It's the same way we find the mean. It's like you are given some indexes and the weights. Let's say you have 20, 30, 40, 45, things like this, and their weights 2, 3, 4, 1. So what you have to do is you have WI column 20 into 2, 40, 30 times 3, 90, 4 times 4, 160, 45 times 1, just 45. Take this column sum, and divide. Same way of finding a mean, you can get it, right? Sum here 5, 4 and 9, 13, 13 and 4, 17, 17 and 16, 133, so 33, 3 and 1, 4. So this is 435 divided by sigma W, 2 and 3, 5, 6, 4, 10 is 43.5. Likewise, so it's same way of finding the mean. Okay, we call it average weighted index numbers. And one more thing, for like theory, sometimes they ask this question: limitations of index numbers. Sometimes index numbers can give a wrong idea even, right? You just think, uh, let's say if we say Sri Lanka, there's a 100% economic growth. Like we can say there's a 100% economic growth in Sri Lanka now this year, right? That 100% economic growth is taken compared to 2020. 2020, we know it's a bad year, no? Right? 2020, because of the corona, let's say the economic growth, it decreased from 2000, let's say 15, and even before that it was decreasing. Let's say the 2020, and let's say now here still we are decreasing, right? But compared to 2020, there's a small increase, right? So if you take 2020 as the base year, and if you compare other years, so then there may be 100% economic growth, but actually this one has decreased, right? But someone can interpret by taking a bad year, a distorted year like this. By taking that year, you can compare other years, right? So it is not a good index then, right? We can interpret things differently, but it's not a good indicator, not the like actual situation. So one thing is a distorted base year should not be taken. If you take a distorted year, then all the indices will be distorted values, not true values. And one more thing is all the items should be measured from the same unit, right? and those indices, let's say suitable items should be selected. Another one. Right, that means this has happened in the like 2014. This happened, means inflation rate we can calculate now. To measure inflation rate, we are taking index numbers. Inflation is a kind of index number, right? To measure that, we take some commonly used items like rice, coconut, sugar. Like people commonly use those, right? So we take the price change. Let's say last year price and this year price, or last month price and this month price. When you compare, you can see the inflation, right? That's how we measure the inflation. We take some commonly used items, but in 2014, to show inflation low, what they did was, let's say coconut, let's say last year it's 50 rupees. Now this year, let's say it is 100 rupees. Okay, then having coconut in the list, it gives a very high value for the index inflation rate, because its change is very high. So what they do is they remove those items, and then they removed coconut and then included mosquito coil instead of that. So mosquito coil price change is negligible sometimes. Maybe last time 50 rupees, this time 51. Okay, so it's like people use that, right? But it's not like coconut. No? So let's say if you want, you can, for the to measure the inflation, if you want, you can put a like a car even to the list, right? Say a Lamborghini also you can put to the list and measure the last year price and this year price. But no point of taking that, no, because it doesn't give the real value, right? You can measure and you can get any answer. You can get a a lower value for the inflation, but it's not the correct value, right? For cheaters can place here using these index numbers, right? But doesn't give the real value. So these are the limitations. Remember these 3 points. You can't take a distorted year. Items should be measured from same unit, and suitable items should be selected to calculate indices. Okay, right. So then that's all this lesson. This index numbers lesson is over.